It is not anymore boys or girls or hers or his responsibilities. It's shared responsibilities. Practical housekeeping skills to know before you move out of your parents' house or before getting married. Hello and welcome to Pauna's Kitchen and Living. In this episode, I'm going to share few answers that a lot of you have been asking about most of the time. How do I manage all this? I run YouTube channel, I have all other social media, website, house, kids, basically teens, like how hard it is to deal with teens. Okay, so I thought of sharing this video with you all. In my more than 40 years of life, I think by this time I have learned that there are at least 10 skills everyone should know regardless of their gender. It is not anymore boys or girls or hers or his responsibilities. It's shared responsibilities. So I have been thinking the same for my own teen boys. I'm like, when are they going to get trained for their real life, when they will be going out of the house, or when they get married, or when they have their own lives. So there are a lot of things that actually connected with each other. And so I thought of putting this video out there, sharing my opinion. I myself totally wish I could have learned many skills while I was like teen, or while my parents were telling me, oh, I should be learning this, that. And a lot of time we ignore what our parents tell us to learn and all that. My partner and I migrated to Canada 20 years ago. Very immature, at least I was immature, and of course we came with debt. So today the lifestyle that you see, it's not just an overnight or a quick lifestyle that we are having. It requires a lot of patience, learning. Actually, that's the key. Like, we were open to learn anything, and we were open to listen to anyone who came to us with any kind of opportunity. So it's very helpful when you have that passion to do something in your life. We together struggled a lot, but today when I look back, I feel that it was necessary for us to learn all the things that we learned so far. Now you must be thinking, what am I doing here? In Florida, it's all sand and the soil is very expensive. Now I want the container, big container, but I do not really need the depth, but I do want this white container for my mint. I got all these containers for free, so I'm like, such a good deal. And I badly needed some of it to transplant my herbs and stuff like that. So what I'm doing here to save some soil, as I said, soil is very expensive here. So what I'm doing is I am arranging some milk containers. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump some milk containers and then add some soil, so it will take less soil that way. Go ahead and arrange them like so. You can save a lot of soil. Next, add some soil, and this is the cheapest variety I'm using at the bottom. Okay, the plant that you want to grow in the container. So here I have mint. Right now it's in a small container, so I'm going to transfer it into the big container. Alright, so here I have planted mint now and added some good soil now on the top. So now here I have my mint plant container ready. Mint takes over all the space you give to it. So I prefer to plant mint in a container rather than in the ground. There are a lot of things actually I wish I knew before I got married, because I was the youngest one in my family, and I hardly participated in any kind of family chores. The another fact is that I also was studying away from my house for a long period of time. But one thing was good about me is that observing things, like I am a big time observer. I just keep on looking at the things when people do. Even today I have a habit, if somebody is doing something, it's my habit to just keep on watching what they are doing, and what it's going to look like when that person is done with that thing and all that. So I always watch my mom doing a lot of cooking, and I do use a lot of techniques even today that I just saw my mom using it, but I actually never did when I was there with her. Actually, in India, most of the parents, they give a dough when the mother is making roti, so the daughter can roll the dough and practice actually. So by the time the girl is like about 10 or 13, she knows how to roll perfect rotis and stuff like that. It happened to me the same, so I knew a few basics actually by the time I was even 13 or something. But there were a lot of other things that I think that if I knew, my life could have been a lot more easier. I personally ended up learning basics of sewing as well, because of the fact that both my boys are very tall and skinny, and including my partner, and I am short. So we always had some sort of issues with our clothing, whether it's Indian outfits or even Western outfits, anything, there's always something, and it wasn't a good idea to spend every time to fix like a very little things. I found this sewing machine actually during one of the Black Friday, just for like $50, and it was such a great deal because I have used for like more than almost 8 to 10 years now, and I could save a lot of money in return of that investment that I made. So sometimes you have to think and invest in something that you think it's going to be very helpful. I also noticed that for our everyday routine work, even if you just try to find a solution even online for minor things. For example, my partner used to use like an ink pen, and he would come with all sorts of stains on his shirt and pants, and it wasn't worth for me to give those clothes every time in a laundromat or somewhere to clean. So instead I tried to look for the solution online, and the solution was so easy. All I had to do is just to use nail polish remover, because acetone works really great when you want to remove any kind of stains of ink or blood or any sorts. Today I'm going to do a quick video of removing the ink from fabric, and so to do that I'm going to use nail polish remover, and you're going to need some cotton pads. Usually my husband uses this ink pens, and he always have those stains on the shirts and pants, and the pants are so expensive, and I've been looking for the solution, and nail polish remover works great these days for me. So I'm going to show you today. He has some ink stains on this pant. You can see this pant material is really nice, and the pant is still wearable, but because of those big spots, as you can see here, he's not wearing it. So I'm going to try to fix it. Okay, so here is the stain. Take the nail polish remover and take onto the cotton pad as if you're just going to clean your nails, and then start dabbing on the stain, and as you can see, the ink is coming onto the pad now. So keep doing until all the ink is gone. You can use alcohol even, and you can keep changing the pad as it absorbs a lot of ink in it. You don't want to keep using the same cotton pad. So I'm going to keep doing this until the stain is gone, and then once the ink spot is gone, just wash the fabric as usual as you do the laundry. So I was happy that I found that solution instead of giving out. I ended up saving a lot of money. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes the solution is just right there. All you have to do is just do little research, and I'm sure you can always find easiest solution sometimes, which you and I would never think, but it's there. Now you might have questioned, how did I learn operating sewing machine? And also sometimes you have to have some sort of idea in your mind how it works and all that. So yes, when I was about teen, one of my sister-in-law used to run a home-based business where she would in the sewing business actually she was. And so every summer vacation when I came home, her place was the place where all the girls of our street would gather and have some sort of fun. And I watched her doing all the sewing work and all that, like cutting, designing and all that. That time, I didn't even operate the sewing machine, but it was just observation. So sometimes, observing things have an amazing, power that we sometimes underestimate. So that's how I got confident that I think I can do it. In my mind, I thought that if I can't operate the machine, I will just return. But to my surprise, these days with the technology and all that, it is super duper easy, and you can also watch lots of how-to videos, and it makes a lot more easier to learn something. So let's go through all those at least 10 skills everyone should acquire. When I say acquire, meaning that we are not born with all these skills. We came with a blank slate. What we write today will determine our future, or the way we live our life. What we write on this slate, however, will determine how we live our life, right? So the first thing is cleaning. I think everyone should know the basics of cleaning, like a sweep, mop. Again, regardless of gender, if you have a boy in your house, that doesn't mean that only girls do all these things. The time has changed, and we all need to change as well. So sweep, mop, laundry, if they can do at least their own laundry, that's also, that way they are not depending on someone. And in the time like when people cannot afford to have housekeeper, these are the few skills that will be helpful a lot and can save a lot of money. Ironing, if you know actually a little bit about it, it's very helpful. If you're going for a prom night, if you're going for interview or something. So if you have some basic skills of ironing your own clothes, that's amazing too. There are actually few chores I hate to do, and how do I still do it? That's the question, right? So what I normally do, I listen to the music while I'm doing some of the chores that I really don't enjoy, so that way it gets a little easier. And sometimes you don't even know when you finish that work while you're listening to the music or any other things, maybe watching TV. So say if I don't like ironing the clothes, I would just listen to the music while ironing or watch TV. But be careful, because you're dealing with the heat. So something that you can come up with your own idea what you like to do while you're doing those kind of chores that you really don't enjoy. So those are the few things. If cleaning, basically. Cooking. For cooking, actually I'm going to make dedicated video, like 10 basic cooking skills people can acquire before they go out of their parents' house, or before they get married, or any reason. It doesn't have to be just a marriage, right? I am not suggesting you do old school cooking, like serve your family meal 4 times, breakfast, snacks and all that, but at least something like a very simple meal that you can serve to your family. But I will share a dedicated video where you will come to know how simple it is to feed your family with just a simple food even. So those are the 10 cooking skills that I'm going to share a dedicated video for that. So in this episode, let's just stick to many other areas. So basically I call this housekeeping skills. So when it comes to housekeeping, it's not just cooking and cleaning. There are a lot of other things in housekeeping. So we discussed so far cleaning and cooking. The third one is very important and can keep you even happy: budgeting. Yes, a lot of people ignore, and like the way they can take care of financial things. It's very important actually. Budgeting could be like when you go to like shopping, any kind of shopping. It could be for your house, it could be for your kitchen or anything. Just to do a little bit of research before buying something, and no, not too impulsive buying, because I have gone through that experience. We keep on bringing a lot of stuff in the house, and after sometimes it just you get bored of it, and it's just like what is it called, like a materialistic world, and it's called like impulsive buying. We are not buying for our necessity, but we are just buying for sometimes for no reason actually. That's what I think. If you have a less in house, it's very easy to organize. But I know when you have a lot of people in the house and a lot of family members in the house, if the house is going to get cluttered over the period of time, and it's just kind of annoying. But if we teach the others the same thing, we could probably manage. And I understand it is even hard to sometimes people make understand things. So I have the same thing. My boys, they want this, that. I mean, compared to what I think, they're not asking for too many things, but it's just that sometimes you feel like overwhelmed. Okay, well, these things he or she is going to use probably maybe 1 or 2 times, but then sometimes you have no choice but to get them. So in that case, if we can make them understand like how things work, it helps everyone. So budgeting in the country like even America or any country actually, and I see that a lot of families struggle due to financial things. So budgeting is where everyone should know budgeting. Like if someone is earning more money in your house, it doesn't mean that you get to spend all those, right? Unless you are earning on your own and you spend however you want. So budgeting is something that we all can learn, and these days there are a lot of sources. If you visit library or if you read books regularly, bookstores are actually our family favorite. When my boys were little, the first thing we think about is going to the bookstore or the library and read something that can give you at least some good amount of knowledge. I know that when you go online, there are a lot of things that you get trapped into and you forget what you're trying to learn. So books are the best when you want to learn something seriously. So instead of going online, just find a good book. You think that just go through the few random pages in the beginning and then read the whole book. So those are the few things or the tips that I thought of sharing with you all. And the fourth one is, I have made some keynotes here: shopping. So I already mentioned in the budgeting. So budgeting and shopping, they are like brother sister, right? So when I say shopping, actually when it comes to like housekeeping, I'm talking about most likely the grocery. Even when we go for grocery, we tend to buy a lot of things that we think that we're going to use it, but then it just end up sitting in the pantry for a long period of time. Sometimes it expires, and those kind of things happens, and it is normal, because when we go to the store, as you can see these days, like a lot of things visually are made just for you to just get that. You are so tempted to get that because it's organized in such a way that you just want to grab it. But what I noticed, that what I started doing is that I do not grab that thing unless and until I think that, okay, I already have the recipe on mind, or like say, okay, well, this something sounds interesting and healthy, so let me try, and stuff like that. So in those moments when I have that temptation, what I started doing is that, I just tell my mind, okay, I can come and get it next time, when I on my next trip, if I really think that I'm going to need this. And I do keep in mind, okay, well, I saw that ingredient, whether I can use it in my cooking or not, or any other things around my house actually, if I'll be able to use it or not. So I just leave it there, and then during my next trip, if I really need it, I get it. So the fourth one was shopping. The fifth one is organizing. Organizing is something like, a lot of people say that, oh, I was not born with organizing. It's not. As I mentioned earlier, we are born blank. So anything we write, on that blank slate will, reflect in our day-to-day life and day-to-day routine, what we do and all that. So organizing is like there are a lot of things you can make DIY even to organize your house, kitchen, room, any area of your house actually. So whether it's gardening even, when you have like a huge garden, how you want to lay out, how you want to organize. So organizing is also something that will keep you happy actually, when you have things when your house is clean, you feel like like good positive vibes. So do learn some organizing skills, how you can minimize clutter in your house or around your house, anywhere in your house. So organizing, number 5. Number 6 is maintenance. Now you say, even I am not so good at so many things, right? Like when it comes to maintenance, but these days there are a lot of resources, like a lot of YouTube videos even, like I learned a lot of things through YouTube. Say if I had to fix minor issues around my kitchen, around my room, or anywhere in the house, the first thing I do is like I do online research, I watch few videos if they're available, and stuff like that. So there are a few things you can learn actually from your own parents or friends, relatives. People are always happy to teach you if you are really keen on learning something, which you think that, oh, this will be very helpful, maybe not today but later in the future or someday. We save a lot of money if we know basic maintenance things, like fixing like your toilet, fixing it's very expensive, right, plumbing. So the few things that if we just sometimes I just try. I know that I don't know how to fix it, but if you look at it, sometimes you tend to find the problem, and you can easily fix sometimes those minor problems. So that's what I learned through my own experience. So the number 6 was maintenance. Number 7, gardening. I know gardening is not everyone's favorite, so I would say one has to have some sort of hobby as well for their own self. Like say for me, it's like meditating a lot of time when my emotions are struggling, so I just go outside and go in my garden, spend some time over there, come back inside the house. So it could be anything. It doesn't have to be just gardening. You can acquire other skills like how to calm down yourself. You can do some exercise, yoga, dance, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be just gardening. But gardening also helps to stay fit, because you can feed your family some fresh produce and all that. And to me, gardening is a lot of fun, because all I do is just keep throwing some seeds, water it, and you always get something out of those seeds. If you do not have a huge area to grow something, at least grow some herbs indoor, like parsley, cilantro, thyme, rosemary. So some of the herbs, they do really well indoors. So you could actually get your hands on indoor gardening as well. Number 8, I know I'm talking about housekeeping skills, but parenting is also kind of housekeeping skill as well. I mean, if you are about to be a parent, So sometimes learning a few basics of parenting is very helpful. It could be even you might be babysitting your friends, kids, teens, and it could be anything. So parenting, learning a few basics of parenting is very helpful even if you are not a parent. Let me repeat that. Even if you are not a parent, parenting skills are always helpful in some way. Number 9 is caring your own self and caring others. A lot of time we kind of human tend to have a ego when it comes to like taking care of somebody else other than ourselves, and if you are that kind of person, I think it's better to just stay by yourself, and but most of the time we are connected with other family members as well. So if we take care of each other, the life gets more easier, and more happier. So, but in order to take care of others, you have to take care of yourself first. So learn to take care of yourself. When I say learn to take care of yourself, it's like learn how you manage your day-to-day emotions, manage how you manage your day-to-day activities, not just emotions but all kinds of activities that you do, whether you are working outside, you or stay at home person. It could be anything, but learn to manage that, your life that way. Like what to do when you have a situation like this and stuff like that. So number 9 was caring yourself and others. Number 10, I know it sounds a little kind of off topic maybe, but it is not, is self-defense. Like you might be thinking what it has to do with the housekeeping. Actually, like self-defense is not just in like saving yourself from other human, but also like, well, let's say I'm cooking, and I should be knowing all or most of the basics of cooking so that I don't hurt myself, I don't burn myself. So self-defense could be anything. So when I cook, I'm actually afraid of using like a really sharp knife. So I don't have sharp knives in my whole kitchen. Actually, I know that if you have some effective tools in your kitchen or around the house, the tasks get like so much easier. But it's just that it's kind of, I have a fear that I just don't keep like 2 sharp knives in my kitchen, and if I have them, I have them with the cover, like with the cover. Most of the sharp knives comes with a cover, or you should have something to organize your knives if you have that. So those are the few things that I thought of sharing. Actually, I was going through one of the study, like one study after another has shown that Americans are some of the most stressed out people in the entire world. There are all kinds of things that cause high stress levels in Americans, including money, work, the state of the economy, health, job stability, and housing cost. And it is very true. I see that, I experience that almost every day around us. I know that it is really hard to have a lifestyle that you want, but there are a lot of things that are under our control. So what we decide is how we lead our life. So those are the few things that I thought of sharing with you all, and I hope you got some of the answers as well, like how do I manage my everyday life. So it is all about understanding, I think, that comes as you age and all that. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please do like and comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Pinterest. Bhavna's Kitchen is everywhere. You can download Bhavna's Kitchen app, totally free, on your iOS, Android, and many other mobile devices. And stay tuned for my upcoming video, 10 food or meal everyone should learn before leaving their parents' house or before getting married. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.